Hey, what's going on everyone? I'm pretty sure you guys stumbled upon this video because you are interested in how to legit check sneakers. Because I know that this is a very highly requested video. How do you legit check sneakers? Just a really quick background. I have been in sneakers for about 8 years now, and I have seen how they have progressed in the fakes. How they used to be like super obvious to all the way to like, wow, this is literally almost like identical. So we're gonna go ahead and dig into a couple fake shoes that we have around here, show you guys the differences and show you what I do, what my thought process is when I go and meet up with people when I'm trying to find if a shoe is legit or not. So we're gonna go ahead and dig right into it right after this. The sneaker game, the sneaker world is infested with just like literally so many fakes. Today we're gonna go ahead and walk you through everything that I do step by step. We do have two pairs of unions right here. They're both a size 10.5 as well. One's the black pair, one's the guava pair. So maybe right now you guys can tell me which pair is real and which pair is fake. Which one's real, which one's fake. All right, so we do have two pairs right here, and honestly, off the bat, they're both size 10.5, and like when you just look at them, like purely looking at them, like if someone just sent me pictures of both of them, I don't think I'd really have much to really go off of and know what's real and what's fake. Like there's honestly, like they look really good for what they are. So these are going to be the things that I go through every time I look at a shoe. Like if you want to ask for proof of purchase, like if they're the original owner, they bought it off Sneakers, that's always helpful to ask, hey, pull up your sneaker app. Hey, can I see the receipt for it if you have it? Just because that does help. People can replicate fake receipts, so don't go based off of a paper receipt alone. Like it's good to have and it's reassuring, but it doesn't mean that it's always going to be authentic. They can always switch out the shoes also with the fake pair with the real receipt. Like receipts, it's not a do or die, just know that. So it's just helpful to see, okay, they did at least buy it, but let me still look at the shoe. You're gonna need to do that, especially when you're spending, like these are like $800 now. Like you're not gonna just be like, oh yeah, the receipt $800, okay, I'm not even gonna check the shoe, like it must be legit. Like no, like you gotta make sure that it's legit. So one of the first things I do is I always smell the shoe. Some people think it's weird, but it's super helpful. You'll see it in all the reseller videos. They always smell the shoe. And Jordan, like authentic Jordan and Nike shoes, they have a very specific smell to them. And if you are around sneakers a lot, you know what that smell is. It's kind of like it's like a new shoe smell, but it's not like a factory smell. It's not like a glue smell. It's more of like it's like it's like a voulez-vous coucher avec toi? I don't even know how to describe it. It's just this smell of, to me, it's goodness. But it doesn't smell bad. It doesn't hurt my nostrils when I breathe it in. Now, granted, there are some pairs that do smell a little bit different. And like I said, every pair is different. It always helps if you have one in hand or have seen one in hand. Obviously, if you can, bring a pair to legit check, like bring them side to side, that's always gonna help. But we're not always gonna be fortunate enough to own these kind of pairs. So if you can find one at your local sneaker shop, look it up, like look at it, smell it, feel it. Anyways, the first thing I'm gonna do is smell the shoe. Like, does it smell right? And so when I smell these two, this one smells like a normal sneaker. And this one smells like I opened up like a can of glue. Like that's what it smells like when you open it. Like there's a strong pungent smell of glue. And so usually that's going to be an identification of a shoe is fake. Like if a shoe smells really strong of glue, that's like your first warning. So there's not a clear indication for everything. Like I think for me, everything, if it all adds up to different, like multiple red flags, then I'm just gonna pass on it. It's probably gonna be fake. So smell is probably the number one thing I check, because a lot of fakes do have that smell. So that's one good indication that it might be fake. Usually fakes smell like glue. And then the next thing you want to do is, like I said, with the other pair, you're going to always want to just look at the overall construction of the shoe, meaning how's the stitching, what's the colors like, are the colors faded, are they not, how's the placement of all the materials, do they feel sturdy, do they feel a little weak? Like the overall construction of the shoe is super important, but you also want to look at all the small details, like how, like it's crazy how good fakes are, but like even like, oh, is this Nike Air sign, is this spread out too much? Is it not? Is it too high on the tab? Is it not? How's the cut, like the thickness of the cut of the materials over here and over the toe box? Like how's the stitching? Is the stitching on point? Is there any messy stitching? Is it tight? Is it not tight? So there's overall just construction. So like this is one of the shoes where I'm like, yo, this is actually built pretty nicely. There's nothing super wrong with it, at least from first glance, right? So that's already kind of scary in the sense that you have to already, off the bat, I'm like, okay, whoa, this is weird. But one, the smell is off, but the construction of the shoe, if I didn't see a shoe like this, if I didn't have a shoe, I would think this is legit just based off of looking at it. That's why you can't always trust pictures, guys. Pictures, they don't help anymore. Like you need to go, you need, in hand is always best, but of course you're gonna wanna check, even in pictures, there's little details, little giveaways that are gonna help you. Even with Jordan 4s, I know that there's stuff that goes on with like the Union tab or different tabs like this, or even the way that the netting's facing, is it like more horizontal or is it more vertical? Like which way is it pointing? There's other things you always want to check. Don't be afraid to get into the shoe, like literally into the shoe. Sometimes these insoles are really glued in, so you want to be very careful if you're trying to take it out. But you want to look at everything, literally everything, like the Union logo, the Jordan logo. Does it look good? Does it look like an actual Jordan logo? How's the writing on the Union? Even the men's size tags, the font and the differences in the boldness play a big factor. Like you want to see, like if you look at a legit pair and a fake pair, you can see that even in the men's size tags, that the fake ones are a little bit more bolder than the real ones. All right, so I don't know if you guys can tell, but this blue one, the font size is a little bit bolder and a little bit thicker than the one on the left. I know that's minuscule, but stuff like that matters. Now, are these perfect all the time? No, they're not, but it is something that you can look into when you're doing it. But even when I take them out, like the thickness of these are different. And I mean, even look at the insoles in the back. Like those are different. Like if you don't look at the insoles, you can't tell that there's differences. Like what is all this? I don't know, but this is the authentic one. It doesn't have any of that. So you always want to look inside the insoles if possible. Now, if they're selling a shoe without insoles, there's also other things you can look into, is going to be the inside of the stitching. Now, it's not perfect in here, like the stitching's a little sloppy, but it's a little bit more tightly woven, and it's still pretty consistent in there. Now, there's no like any crazy marks inside. It looks good. You know, that's fine. This is what the fake pair looks like though. Look at that stitching. It's so spread apart. It's so thick, and it looks like it's barely hanging on to the back. So let's see if I can angle this better. There you go. And then you have all these red marks and these cutout lines and these stitching lines on the actual Strobel board. And that's kind of like another indication of like what it looks like to be fake, because like I said, this one doesn't, like the real one doesn't have it, but the fake one does. Now, real pairs do have slight ones. I've seen slight, but nothing crazy as this pair had. This pair has a bunch of them going everywhere. That's super important. You can also always look at the size tags, but even size tags now are getting pretty good, and you're gonna have to look at the size tags of each shoe differently, because this one, I'm just gonna tell you without showing you, it's bolder, it's thicker. This one's a little bit lighter. So you can also legit check shoes based off of the box. Let's see, this is the legit pair, or these numbers are actually pretty thin right here on the barcode. So that's like one indication, like I said, every shoe is different. So you have to check the barcode on each shoe, but this one, it's pretty thin. Like it's pretty skinny, pretty narrow. It's not really bold. But now let's look at the fake pair. Fake pair, it's a little bit thicker. It's a little bit more bold. It's a little bit bigger. So that's one indication of like, okay, this one looks different than the other one. Something else I look for is sometimes this is all just one sticker. If it's all one sticker, it's probably fake. Even this one, like it has like a stickiness to it. You also want to check like the back of it. Oh, I'm ripping it. But you want to check the back of it to see if it actually is perforated. So this one's fake, but it is perforated, which is a good, or not a good sign, but they're at least trying to do a better fake of this one. So even down to the paper right here. So Unions have paper. I mean, Jordan 1s and stuff like that have basic paper. It's a little bit harder, but I don't know if you guys can see the color difference in the paper. Like this one's way more colorful. This one looks like it's faded. It's a little bit more of a bluish tint to it. Remember guys, they don't have like they don't always have all the original products. They're trying to replicate it, and it's hard to replicate things perfectly. So even the quality on the boxes are different. So maybe I'll let you guys guess which one's real and which one's not. So there's the top of this box. So you can look at the fingers, look at the quality, and then let's see if this one looks any different. But if you guys look at this quality, it's his fingertips, like the lines in his fingers are a lot more, you can see them a little bit more defined, like the cuts in his fingers. But if you, let's see if we can put them side by side. Try and put them, this is kind of hard to see, but are the shoes fitting properly in the box? Because sometimes a lot of fakes have smaller boxes and it's gonna be a really tight fit. We kind of went through the entire shoe, but the very last thing that we're gonna talk about is how to legit check shoes with the light. A black light. Now that's gonna be a very important thing when you guys get into the sneaker world. I highly suggest that you guys get a black light. We're gonna go a little bit mobile here because I got my wife helping me out, but we're going to be using this black light, which it's nothing fancy. I just got it off Amazon. If you guys want the same one, I'm going to leave a product link in the description box down below. This is another big question that I get from a lot of people is why do you use a black light? What's the purpose? Is there really anything that you're looking for? Or are you just looking just to scare me? But all right guys, we're going to show you guys right now what to look for. So this is like I said, the legit pair. So what you want to do is turn it on. Right, and so you can see how things are getting lit up. So the black light will reveal things that you normally won't see. Now I know this pair is legit because I got it off Sneakers. All right, so don't say I'm dealing with the fake shoe. I got this one directly off Sneakers, so it's legit. Now the black light will let white lines like show up like this because that's what happens when you put white in black light. But as you see, nothing else appears on the soles. You always want to check the soles. You're going to want to check the uppers and look at everything. You're also going to want to look at the soles down here. There's nothing that pops up, right? So they're pretty blank. They're pretty clean. That's a good sign. Now, when we take this fake pair, we're going to go ahead and see what pops up. When you show the light and you're going and you're going and you're like, okay, there's nothing too much. There's some marks right here which are a little bit green. I don't know if you can see that, but it's like a little cloudy right here. But if you guys can see that, that's just sometimes glue marks. Glue marks isn't always an indication that it's fake. It's just sometimes it happens. I have pairs of Jordan 4s it looks neon green when I put the light over it, and they're legit. So there we go. You see that mark right there? That is a stamp. That is a stamp from a fake factory saying that way that when they get it back, or if they know it's in hand, this is the stamp that they do so they know it's their product. All right, so you always want to see if you could find a stamp on the shoe. And then of course you can also, sometimes people try and get rid of the stamp. They try and finesse you with that. So see, something's interesting. There's green marks on this side, and even right here there's like red marks on this side. So the difference in colors, that's kind of a weird thing. So Jordan 1s will have glue marks sometimes on their soles, but then they're usually just one color. This is kind of weird that there's two colors. But like I said, if they're trying to get rid of that mark, kind of paint over it, scrub it out or whatever, you're also going to want to check the uppers of the shoe, because right here, oh, you see that mark right there? So that's one mark right there. Let's see if we can find any more. There's some under there. You can see it kind of under the pink, and like it runs right there. Let's see. That's a big one right by the toe box. You getting that? So it goes all the way around the toe box, even in the toe guard right there. Let's see if there's more. There's more right there, up there. So, and then on the other side of the wings tab. So what those marks tell me is that shoe is fake, because like I said, there's no marks on the real one. They were clean, they were good. But what you do on this fake one is you check that, because like I said, fake companies, they like to have outlines on their products so they know where to cut it and how to fit the shoe in the right placement. So there's guidelines. There are guidelines for the fake companies. And so when you check it, that's why we saw the fakes have lines right here, because it's like, oh, that's where the wing logo, where the wing tab or the back tab, the heel tab is gonna go. they have things for around here because this is how we need to cut this eye stay so that way it fits properly around the toe box. Now, like I said, it's not on the real pair, it's on the fake pair. So those are things you want to look for when I look for a black light. Is I look for a stamp and I look for outlines of the shoe for where it's cut. That's why I say black lights, they save your money, they'll save you time, because if the shoe looks really good and you can't see anything like without a black light, check it with the black light to always double check. Now, the last thing we're gonna do is triple check. You wanna triple check your shoes if you're still unsure. Say something's just throwing you off, because quality production sometimes isn't the best on Jordan products. Let's just be real. There's a lot of defects that go through and they're still legit authentic shoes, but you're still curious. You still don't know what to do. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna run, because we're all humans, we make mistakes. We're not the best legit checkers, and even the best of the best sometimes will still get got. And so we wanna always have opinions. You wanna have multiple opinions as much as possible. Now, if you're someone like me who doesn't always have people around to legit check shoes and do all that stuff, like if anything, I have people asking me to legit check their shoes, you know? So I always want to double an extra opinion. So what I do is I actually use the app CheckCheck. Now, we're gonna go ahead and run this through CheckCheck to see if they actually say if it's real or if it's fake. We could do the same thing with this pair, see what happens. So there's 3 different options that you could do with CheckCheck. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen or heard about it before. If not, you guys can go ahead and use my code Sneakpeek right here. You can use that code and you'll get a free check on your first time. So we're gonna go ahead and run this and see, because like I said, I want an extra opinion. I'm gonna always legit check shoes. I don't care if anyone says, oh, they passed CheckCheck. Oh, I got them from this shop. Oh, I bought them from Sneakers. I don't care what people say, because people lie all the time. I'm sorry, it's just the truth. I know most people want to try and be honest, but like, you have to think, if someone's trying to scam you, they're gonna try and lie to you and do whatever it takes to make you believe that their shoe is real, so that way you can buy them and they can make off with your money. So that's why for me, I don't care what people say. I will always check my shoes and then I'll double check them if I'm really unsure with CheckCheck app. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys what that looks like. So you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna download the CheckCheck app and you're gonna go ahead and select new check. I mean, of course you have to put some points into your account. You gotta add some money into your account, but like I said, if you use my code, you should get a free check. And it's gonna ask us for different photos. So the first photo is gonna be this one, where it's just the front facing photo. And then just for appearance wise, because they look at that, and then they're gonna ask for the insole. They're also gonna ask for the inside of the stitching. And they're also gonna ask for the box. And they're also gonna ask for this little stamp that's sometimes on boxes. It's not on every shoe, but sometimes they have it. Yeah, and then you're gonna select how fast you want the check. So you could do 30 minutes, which honestly sometimes comes back in like 5-10 minutes. Or you can do 4 hours or 12 hours. Of course, the longer you wait, the less you pay. And I mean, at max, you're spending $3 in order to make sure that you're not gonna be wasting $700 or something like that. So we're gonna go ahead, put those off to the side, see what happens when we come back. All right, guys, so CheckCheck came back and we saw that these are fake and that these are real, that they do a good job. Now, are they human? Yes, it's human people looking at photos, trying to, you know, look at all the things that they look at. Now, I've never worked at a legit checking place like Goat or StockX or CheckCheck or whatever, but like I said, I've been doing this for a while, and this is kind of like all the things that I've gone through. Now, I know this is kind of a longer video, but I do hope that it's all super helpful. Now, I hope some of these tips and tricks will help you. One thing I want to note is that there's one more thing that you can check for. So if you look inside, there sometimes will come a sticker. This sticker will also help you legit check shoes. So if you guys can see, there's lines that go through the sticker. Like there, I don't know, can you see it? Yeah, there's lines that go through the sticker. Now it's not all the way through, it's like little tiny lines that go through. So that's an indication that this one's real. Now let's see if the other one has it. All right, well, the other one doesn't even have the sticker in it. So that's kind of like another thing, is if that shoe comes with a sticker, all of them really should. Now, there are fake shoes that do have that sticker, but when you see the little lines going through it, that's the real one. The fake ones are just a plain flat sticker. They won't have any lines going through it. So you always want to double check that if that's in the box. So you always want to just kind of There's little things like that always go a long way. But and another way to legit check is also through the lace bag. So you see the difference is that this lace bag is a little bit more like squarish versus this one's like long and rectangular. Even the color difference, this one's lighter and this one's darker. And even the quality of this paper, like this is like very, very thin plastic. This is definitely like a thick, you can even hear the difference in like the quality. Yeah, like this one's like paper thin. This one's definitely a little bit thicker, a little bit sturdier. Like that one, like the hole is like it's holding up, you know. Versus this one, it doesn't even got the hole in the freaking top. It's like in the bag, ripping, bro. I know this is super in detail, but sometimes you guys have to be in the details. But this is even the difference in the little shoe trees that they put in there. So I mean, I don't know if you guys can tell which one's real, which one's fake, but you guys see the difference in the text. Like this one's a little bit like square zeros. This one's a little bit more like oval zeros. This one's a little bit like thicker. This one's a little bit skinnier. But the thing that threw it off for me was it said die cut sock liner in this one, and it said molded sock liner, and this one's super clean when it says it, and then this one's like really bold, like thicker. So if you guys didn't know, this one is part of the fake one and this one is the real one, but even in these you can see the differences. Now this is a hard way to tell which one's real, which one's fake without seeing stuff like this, but it still helps. It's worth to just look at. But if you guys learned something new, or if this video helped you, please subscribe, please leave a like, share it with your friends if this is helpful, because I know that it's hard to go into super detail about what a fake and real shoe looks like, and just kind of covering it in general rather than saying, oh, how to legit check Union 4s. Like that helps, it does, but I'm trying to show you what I do for every single shoe, like smelling, looking, taking off insoles, doing all that stuff, looking at the sticker. I do all of that for every single shoe. And so it's super important that you guys learn that stuff. I hope you guys have benefited from today's video. And so I appreciate you guys for giving me ideas and things that you guys want to learn about, because I'm here for you. So with all that said, we'll see you guys on another video.